Okay, so this is 5.3C, and this lesson I'm just going to kind of highlight some of the things in the homework assignment. So the first several sections of this, the coefficient and degree. A coefficient, I don't know that I ever went over this in 5.3a. Coefficient is just the number in front of all the letters. So like on number 2, the coefficient's number 2. For number 4, the coefficient would be 1/3 because there's a 1 in front of that x. So the number would be 1/3. Coefficient for 5 would be 1/2. Okay, so that's what coefficients are. 11 through 22, you're just multiplying. So let's look real quickly at 22. We have 5x to the 6th times negative 10xy to the 4th. And we have negative 2x squared y to the 6th. Okay, so remember, you're just multiplying the numbers. 5 times negative 10 is negative 50. Negative 50 times negative 2 is 100. So we're done with the numbers. Multiplied all those out. X's, remember you add. 6 plus 1 plus 2. Y's, you just add. You only have 2 y's. 4 plus 6 is 10. And you are done. Divide, you're doing the same thing, only you're subtracting and dividing instead of what we did there with multiplying the numbers and then adding. You're dividing the numbers and subtracting coefficients. Fill in the table for 33 and 34. That shouldn't be too bad when they tell you what A and B is. You know, the first part is multiply A and B. Second part is divide A divided by B. And the third part is B divided by A. 35 to 40, you're multiplying. Remember, you multiply the numbers and then put the times 10 and then add the exponents. You can go back and review the how-tos on that one from the lecture, 5.3 B, I think it is, might be A. 47 to 56, combine like terms by adding or subtracting. So for like number 56, we have 18a cubed b squared minus 20a cubed b squared plus 10a cubed b squared. So all my variables are the same and all my exponents are the same, so I can add. So all I'm going to do then is add my numbers. 18 minus 20 is negative 2 plus 10 is positive 8. And then the a cubed b squared stay the same. So 59 to 76 are a little bit trickier. Let's do 76. I'm going to pause while I write that down. Okay, so there's number 76. Let's see what we can do with this thing. All right, so first of all, remember, you do everything on top to simplify that. So 5 times 10 is 50. And then we add our exponents. And then 4 plus 3 is also 7. And then we do the bottom. We'll simplify that. 25 times 2. My x's I add. And my y's I add. Okay. Then I simplify. 50 over 50 is 1 over 1, right? Make that longer. That looks dumb. Okay, I have 2 there and 7 there. So I'm going to cancel those and take 2 away from the 7, leaves me 5 on top. I've got 12 there and 7 there. So I'm going to get rid of 7 there and get rid of 7 there. And I've got 5 left on the bottom. Okay? And once I get to this point, 1 over 1 is 1. I can get rid of that, and there's my answer. Okay? So not too terrible. Now 77 to 82, they're giving you things in scientific notation. So they're asking you to do what's on the top first. So let's look at 79. 5 times 10 cubed times 4 times 10 to the negative 5th over 2 times 10 to the minus 2. Okay, so we're going to do what's on top. 5 times 4 is 20 times 10, and we're going to add the exponents. 3 plus negative 5 is negative 2 over 2 times 10 to the minus 2. Okay, so remember, you're just dividing here. 20 divided by 2 is 10 times 10 to the negative 2 minus, because of the division sign, negative 2, which is right there. So 10 times 10 to the negative 2 plus 2, which is 0. So basically what this means is the answer is just 10. But they want it in scientific notation. So we have to change this to scientific notation. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our decimal, because it's right there, and we don't want it there. It always has to be after the first number. So we're going to move it over 1. So we're going to have to add 1 to the 0 and get an answer like that. So even though it's kind of silly to write 10 like that, they want you to write it in scientific notation. Okay, so the rest of them pretty much same old, same old. Let's do 84, just so that we can make sure I cover any questions that you might have over each of these sections. So 84 is 24x to the 10th over 6x to the 4th, and then we're going to add 32x to the 7th over 8x. Okay, so what we're going to do is we always try to do whatever we have here first, and then we combine it with what we have here. In fact, when we look at just this one, we're going to try to simplify the top, and then simplify the bottom, and then divide. Simplify top, simplify bottom, then divide, and then combine. But these are already simplified, so we don't have to do anything. I mean, there's nothing I can do with 24x to the 10th to make it simpler. So I just divide here. What's 24 divided by 6? 4. 4 over 1. Then I've got 4 here and 10 there. So I'm going to get rid of these 4 and get rid of 4 of those. And I'm left with 6 on top. Okay, 32 divided by 8 is 4 over 1. I've got 1x here and 7 there. So I'm going to get rid of 1 of there and get rid of 1 there. So that's going to leave me with 6 there. So notice I have the same exponents and the same variables. So 4x to the 6 plus 4x to the 6 is going to give me 8. And then remember, when you add variables, you never ever in the whole history of the universe add the variable itself. You just add the number in front of it. All right, so that's it for section 5.3. I hope you do fine with that.